twofold. It gives an opportunity for women who are struggling, single mothers who have children, to sort of get into permanent housing if they don't have permanent housing, and then take a deep breath. So it's more than just, let's get you an apartment. It's very much mentorship and advocacy so that you can sort of not only change what you've gone through and what your struggles have been, but also sort of recreate who you are and make sure that you become a very successful person in life. And so that's what Erie Dawn does, and I guess I'm a product of that.
It seems very relevant today and very important today that we continue to give women the ability to dream and to reach for those dreams, and also to provide the support that they need to take those very important steps that will move them from one place to another to achieve those dreams.
And so, high school?
Yeah, I was pretty new in that role.
And now looking at it.
Right.
I'm sure other programs too.
Good afternoon. It's so wonderful to see everyone here on such a beautiful fall autumn afternoon. First and foremost, I want to thank the founders of Erie Dawn, the Sisters of St. Joseph, the Sisters of Mercy, and the Benedictine Sisters for having the vision and the wherewithal and the fortitude to make this wonderful organization happen. We can't go any further until we introduce Sister Phyllis Hilbert. And Sister Phyllis, if you will come forward. Sister Phyllis was the instrumental drive in Erie Dawn's existence. So Sister, thank you, and please welcome.
As Erie Dawn celebrates its 15th year, the women and children coming to them are facing tremendous challenges. There's an increase for services for children who come with health, education, emotional, and behavior problems. They need multiple supports if they are going to be able to develop and grow into the adults they have every right to become. It is especially heartbreaking to see the women and the children come to us scarred with emotional abuse. It takes much time to repair and rebuild their lives. Erie Dawn, I'm happy to say, in its 15th year, is passionate about its belief that the services they have provided can break the cycle of abuse and assist women to become self-determined and thereby rebuild their lives and those of their children. We believe and we have seen that God brings hope through the dawn. Naomi, through the years and through her phone calls and letters to me, has been a constant support to me, especially those days, you know, Maureen and all the staff at Erie Dawn, when things got hard. I get a call from Naomi saying, "Sister, I just want you to know how much the program meant and means to me." So that gave me a couple more weeks of really working hard. Of all the virtues I've had the privilege to observe in Naomi, one stands out, and I believe it is the core of her life's spirituality. Naomi possesses the gift of gratitude. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. I am sure Naomi will bring the gift, that particular gift, to all of us tonight. Welcome, Naomi.
going to have me crying before I even start. I appreciate all of you so much, and I do want to sort of take some time and give you a little bit of background and give you a little bit of an insight into who I am. I am the middle child, sandwiched between two very feisty and independent sisters. So 3 very feisty girls in my family. My parents, my mother and my father, for as long as I can remember, were unfortunately poor of mind, poor of spirit, poor of joy, and unfortunately never really designed to be parents. My father, although undiagnosed at the time, suffered with paranoid schizophrenia, an illness he tried desperately to quiet with many, many bottles of alcohol. He was also an immigrant who served unsuccessfully in our military. And I can't imagine out of place in a foreign land, in a cloud and a haze of voices, my father struggled to cope with each day. He would say to me so frequently with a look in his face, he would say, "Blue Eyes, don't look at me like that. You don't know how hard life is. You don't understand how hard it is for us." But I did understand, even at that young age. I understood as I watched my mother suffer through 11 years of violence and chaos under the weight of his anger and frustration of things he could not cope with. 11 years of chaos until her very being was picked clean, until there was nothing left of my mother than a shell of a person. And I believe this, that she sacrificed a big part of her spirit trying to protect her children. 11 years of chaos and violence eventually ended when my mother did find a bit of courage deep within her and left my father. But like a lot of battered women, my mother had yet again mistaken attention for true affection, and she found herself with my stepfather, who was unfortunately more possessive, more controlling, and this time wanted nothing to do with her children. Shortly after their marriage, my sister and I, my older sister and I, were moved into the basement, and we were not allowed to keep the lights on, and there was no windows. And every day after school, my sister and I would sit in the dark, and we would listen to the sound of children playing above our heads because they had converted the main floor into a daycare. And that darkness and that absolute blackness was just too much. One day my sister left for school and she never came back, and she was only 15. And I remember so distinctly inside I cried out to my mother, who did not have the tools to hear me, "Why are we here? Why do we accept this life for ourselves? Why does she accept this life for her children?" And I can remember that. I can remember even as such a young child thinking that I couldn't cope and I couldn't understand. You know, I saw the beauty in my mother just as I see it now in my own face. I saw the perseverance and the curiosity of my father just as I hear it now in my own voice. And my heart ached for them as I watched them waste the gifts that they had. And that's what they did for so many years. And that's sort of my background. That's how I came and ended up on the doorstep of Erie Dawn.